Okay, so I'm going to be showing you guys how to make the turning point puncher mechanism, which will look something like this. It's mostly made up of three parts. We're first going to make the base assembly, then we're going to make the slider piece. For the base assembly, you're going to need to make a slip tooth gear. A slip tooth gear, you're going to take a 36 tooth gear, a regular VEX gear, and you're going to want to sand off about 11 teeth. So it's, as the name says, it's a slip tooth gear. So there's no teeth on this one part of the gear. That's the only custom part you're going to need with the gear. You're also gonna have to cut the C channel, which looks something like this, and you're gonna want to cut it so it only is 15 long, so it looks something more like this. Starting with the base assembly, we're gonna want to put in one screw right here, and it's a 1-inch screw, another 1-inch screw right here. They're about 2 holes apart, and they come up for a total of 4 holes. The first screw is one hole off here. These are 1-inch screws. On top of that, you're gonna want to put on a single 1/2-inch spacer on both of these screws. And then you're gonna want to put on 3 washers onto each one. So it looks something like this. I messed up in the CAD on this, but what you're going to also want to do is you're going to want to put 3 washers underneath between the screw and the C channel down there. So yeah, that way when you put on the C channel gearbox on top, and then you're also going to put on the slide truck, you have it sticking out, which is bad because you don't want that. And you're going to put in 3 washers underneath. It might vary based on your washer thickness, but it should be about 3. After that, you're going to put in another 1-inch screw right next to this one right here, and you're going to put on you're going to put on another screw, 1-inch screw right here, so they're about 4 holes apart, and then you're going to put on a 1/4-inch spacer, or you could also put on, these are 3-inch standoffs right here. You're gonna want to put them on the row right after the screw right here. So it's something like this. They're on the edges as shown. Okay. What this is right here, you're gonna put in this 1/4-inch spacer, nylon spacer, another 1/4-inch nylon spacer. On top of that, you want a 0.375-inch or 3/8 inch nylon spacer on both of those. Then you're going to put a slide truck on top, and there should be, I believe, 2 washers underneath the screws on the C channel so that it's level up on top. So after that, you can secure these standoffs with whatever screws you think seem fit, or whatever screws you want to use, as long as it holds it in place. Okay, so then after that, you're going to take this motor right here, a VEX motor. You want to make sure the output shaft is facing this direction. You want to secure the motor, these 2 motor shafts, with the screws like so. Then you want to put a bearing flat on the back of the C channel right here. You're going to secure it with screws as well, like so. And you want to put kept nuts on those, or you could put nylock nuts. Shouldn't really matter all that much. You want to put, I believe this is a 2-inch shaft through the motor and into the bearing flat. After that, you're going to put in flat shaft bearings, a bearing shaft, I believe, And then your slip tooth gear, which you have to make custom. It's a 36 tooth regular VEX gear. You want to make a 25 tooth gear by cutting off a portion of it, 11 teeth to be precise, or at least that's how much I did. So it's flat for 11 teeth. You could use a Dremel, which will sand it down, or you could use something similar to that. After that, you want to put in this last nylock spacer up here, which I don't, oh, it's down here. So what it would look like is you would move this all the way up till here. This is just gonna rough it. I don't think this is gonna line up perfectly, but for the video's sake, it's gonna go right about there in between. It's actually okay if there's some wiggle room in between these three components. Shouldn't really matter all that much. Okay. Then we're gonna want to move on to the slider piece for the puncher. So you're gonna start with you're gonna have to custom the slide track. It's a rail slide. It should only be about 13 holes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yep, so you're gonna want to cut it so it's only 13 holes long. After that, you're gonna put on two racks, two slide racks as shown, and you're gonna want to secure them down with screws. You could put, I would say to put nylock nuts inside them, right? So let's put in the nylock. So you have 4 screws in total. There's one that goes here, one that goes here, one that, so they all line up with the edge of the racks. There's these little holes so you can secure them. Each one's gonna have a nylock screw. All right. So this is the slide rack completed. So after you put on these nylock screws into the rack, right, you're gonna want to take this C-channel piece right here, which is about 5 holes long, and you're gonna take in two, I believe 1/4-inch screws and secure 1/2-inch standoffs on each side, like shown. Then we're gonna take two full 1-inch screws, as shown here, stick them through the middle so they're equal, and then we're going to take two 1/2-inch spacers, which will separate this. Alright, then we want to take a nylock nut here and a nylock nut here, and it's okay if this sticks out, because what this portion is it's a backstop, so it stops it from launching itself out. Okay. After you do that and it's fully completed like so, you're gonna attach them. You're gonna slide this piece right here. What all you want to do is you just want to slide it in like that, and what's gonna happen is that because of these two screws, it's gonna lock like that, so you can't go any further after this, and that's good. So that's what's supposed to happen. Then what you're gonna do is, this isn't in the CAD, you're gonna take about 3 rubber bands on each side, or whatever tension you desire, and you're gonna thread it from here around this one standoff, and then loop it around this standoff right here, and then you're gonna do the same thing on this side, a rubber band here, which loops over to the standoff on here. I would put, based off how this is, I would put 3 rubber bands, but depending on the rubber band you have and the tension you're using, you're going to want to put different amounts, or however you want to do it. Yeah, that's pretty much the entire design.